Hey everyone, today we're going to install the Hoffman Super Safety in this Aero Precision Lower. To start out, let's go over a few things we're going to need. The cam, the lever, an earbud cushion, and the detent that's in the grip. This detent will need to be rounded off. We'll also be using the jig to cut the trigger assembly. Let's go ahead and make those modifications now. So we're going to use the rotary tool to round off the top part of the detent. Now that we've flattened it a bit, we're going to take some sandpaper and clean it up. Now everything is nice and rounded over. Let's go ahead and put the cushion on the lever. You can moisten the lever, use a little oil, whatever, to make this easier. We're just going to put it on here. Now let's cut the trigger. We're just going to go in like this. We're going to place a pin. Now we'll remove it and clean it up a little bit more with some sandpaper. Okay, I think we're ready to install. Back to the lower receiver, we're going to go ahead and remove the hammer pin and trigger pins. So in this case, we're going to replace this trigger because this one hasn't been cut yet. And we want to make sure and reuse these springs. So just like normal, there's really nothing different at this point to reassemble everything. Disconnect spring. Now we need to remove the grip so that we can remove the detent and the safety selector. Just wiggle it off. Let's let that detent fall. You may need to move the selector. Tap it a bit. But there's our detent. And now we have our empty lower receiver. If looking at the left side of the receiver, that's where the logo for Hoffman Tactical needs to be shown. So we're going to do a dry fit. And that tells us that the hole itself is good. Giggity. Now we'll reinstall everything like we normally do. Now our hammer. And there we are. Now that we have the fire control group installed, we can go ahead and install our super safety. So what we want to do is capture the lever, which should be oriented this way, with the curve pointing back towards the back. Sometimes it helps to place the lever inside so you can see it, and then just match up the safety selector. And this is a good time just to check to see if it moves freely. So we'll lay it on its side so it stays in there. We'll take our rounded detent. Just make sure it's in the detent hole the spring is. And that's it. We have a super safety installed and ready to test.
Safety, good. Semi, got a good cycle. Super safety,